big news here. It's also interesting to us that Amazon says it doesn't plan to reopen the search at this time. It made this big argument that there were only 2 metropolitan areas where it could find the talent it needed. So how does that square with what they now say that they're doing?
Well, it raises a lot of questions, John, because remember, the reason that Amazon ultimately decided to split up the HQ2 into 2 sites was the worker issue. At least that was what the reports were, that to find the initial 50,000 high-tech workers that they were looking for in their initial request for proposal, they couldn't find it in one place. That still is an issue. Now, there is a great tech workforce in the Washington, D.C. metro area, so they could certainly go outside of Northern Virginia. Remember, they had sites, potential finalists in the district, in Maryland, as well as in Northern Virginia. So they have a lot of workforce to draw from. The question is whether they could put all of those people in Crystal City. And it does raise a lot of issues that you talked about on the one hand, about the viability of New York as a place for business, yet New York also still has this great tech workforce and the economy in New York City is doing very well. And so there always was that trade-off between, $2 to $3 billion in incentives that the city would offer to Amazon versus can they get that kind of job growth otherwise. So far, they've done just fine.
All right. Scott, thanks.
Jim Stewart's also with us. Jim, we were talking about this recently. I think you and I are both in the same camp when it comes to the colossal blunder that a handful of vocal but a small group of people have apparently succeeded in blocking Amazon from coming to New York.
Yeah, I think it's astonishing in some ways, the hubris of these people thinking that New York is so powerful and it's so desirable that it can simply, reject and basically eject an investment in the local economy like that. I remember when the proposal first came out from Amazon, one of the first things they said was they wanted to go somewhere where they would be welcome. And even if this is a minority, it's a very loud one, it's a very vocal one, and for reasons that I find a little bit difficult to understand, it was absolutely determined to strike a blow here, and they succeeded. And again, I think it's not just Amazon. It is every other company that will be looking to see what kind of business environment would we face if we come into the New York City metropolitan area.
Yeah, and it's arguably not just New York. Google and some other companies are facing pushback from San Jose in the heart of Silicon Valley right now about their plans to build based on the expected impact on the cost of living. So we'll have to see where that goes.
What's so amazing to me, and Jim, I want to get your thoughts on this. What's so amazing to me is just a couple of years ago, every city, it seemed like in the U.S., was looking to be the next big tech hub. What does this signal about the shift in sentiment?
Well, I think it's very significant that that there's this resentment that has grown up of the success of the technology sector among people who apparently do not see any upside in it for them. Now, I do agree that not just Amazon, the tech giants have been very arrogant themselves. They have not done a great job of communicating the benefits they bring to communities. But they do have a story to tell, which is it's not just tech jobs that come when they arrive in an area. It's all the supporting jobs. It's the restaurants. It's the retail operations. It's the housing. There are many, collateral benefits that come from this, and I do think the tech sector is going to have to start reaching out more and addressing the concerns of people who are feeling displaced. But another thing I find so troubling about this is, nothing had happened yet. I mean, nobody had been displaced in Long Island City. There were these sort of, vague concerns that, rents are going to go up, but there are other ways of addressing all of those problems if people had been willing to negotiate and come to some terms with that. Amazon might have been willing to do more. They were already promising quite a bit, but we're not going to get that now.